So hey guys, and welcome to the video, and welcome to this brand new little mini series. I'm not going to call it a series actually, I'm going to call it more of a feature, where I take a certain type of roller coaster and I build it around a theme, and I heavily theme this roller coaster. In this episode, as you can see on screen now, we are working with a RMC iBox. I haven't really worked with the RMC coaster type before in Planet Coaster, so please don't hurt me too much in the comments if this isn't what you were expecting. But I really do try with this roller coaster. I take a few different elements from a few different RMC roller coasters around the world, and you can start to see that here. You can see that I have borrowed the turnaround section from Wildfire at Kolmarden. I absolutely love that element on that roller coaster. I love how you turn around that turnaround section and you look towards the sea. I feel like that is an absolutely fantastic element to have on a fantastic roller coaster like Wildfire at Kolmarden. I do also take some other inspiration. So as you can see on that drop, I add that little banked section like on Iron Gwazi, and that immediately goes into a 0G stall like on Zardra and on Steel Vengeance, because I tell you what, when I eventually do get to ride a RMC, I really want to experience one of those 0G stalls because they look absolutely insane, and that's why I wanted to add a big one on this roller coaster straight after the drop. Now, also with this roller coaster, I wanted to make a big emphasis on terrain, and that's something that will come later on in this video, just because I didn't want to do the theming and the layout at the same time. I wanted to do the layout first and then build around that. One thing that I really tried to do with this roller coaster was build this little barrel roll thing, and I couldn't quite get it the way that I wanted to. So what I ended up doing was raising the track a little bit and adding sort of a downwards barrel section. You'll see what I mean in a second, but I feel like I nailed that, and it was better than what I was trying to go for. So again, I want to emphasize with this roller coaster, I really am trying to borrow the best elements from the best RMC roller coasters that are out there at the moment. Towards the end of this roller coaster, I do take inspiration from Steel Vengeance a lot, so I try to add a lot of airtime, although I do it a bit different to the way that Steel Vengeance does it, because Steel Vengeance, most of the airtime hills at the end are under the structure of the roller coaster, so under the supports of the roller coaster. With this, they're sort of out in the open, and I preferred it to be that way, just because if you send two trains around at the same time, they do duel quite a lot, and that was unintentional actually. So when the roller coaster is testing, you see that these trains do duel quite a bit, and I do really like that. But again, you'll see that towards the end of this roller coaster. I tried to pack as much airtime as possible into this roller coaster. So as it comes out of that 0G stall and it goes into that turnaround section, after that turnaround section there is an airtime hill there, after that downwards barrel section there is an airtime hill there, and again you will see in a second, but I add a lot more airtime sections into this roller coaster. I don't want you to be touching your seat at all if this was a real coaster, for example. But again, I am really proud of the way that this layout turned out actually, and the layout only took me about half an hour to complete, and that's mostly because I had an idea of what I wanted to do before I started building this roller coaster. So I really thought about what I wanted to do as well. The turnaround section admittedly was a bit of a freestyle, but apart from that, the roller coaster was pretty much planned in my head going into it, and it was just trying to make the elements work with different elements. So for instance, the section at the end where the track weaves in and out of the other piece of track, offering for some great coaster interaction, that wasn't planned, and I'm glad that it worked out the way it did. Again, I'm really proud of the way this roller coaster turned out. As I say, I try to squeeze every bit of that momentum out of this roller coaster. As John Wardley once said, a great roller coaster doesn't taper off into a brake run. It keeps going and it keeps giving more and more and more. And I know I keep saying it, but that's what I tried to do with this roller coaster. So as I mentioned at the start of the episode, this roller coaster is themed to a jungly tropical sort of theme. So it's a loose tropical theme. It's more like a fantasy jungle theme. So there's going to be some oasis sections with some pools of water. There's going to be plenty of tropical trees, and there's going to be plenty of rock work to add some brilliant near miss elements to this roller coaster. Just because I feel like that a great roller coaster has great near miss elements. I know I've said it in a few of my Planet Coaster episodes, but Nemesis has some great near miss elements. Icon has some great near miss elements, particularly when it interacts with the Big Dipper and it interacts with Steeplechase. And in a way, the big one also has some great near miss elements, particularly when you go through that final tunnel and into the final brake run. Again, a great coaster has some great near-miss elements, and what a coaster to do it on than an RMC. I was originally going to make this a launched B&M wing coaster, but I thought, you know what, I haven't really worked much with the RMC coaster type in Planet Coaster, so what better time to do it than in this episode. And again, I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. As you can see on screen now, the layout is finished. So what you see here is the final product. I don't really make any major changes to the layout after this. I do edit some of the airtime hills just because I felt like it went a bit too slow at the end, but I do edit that so that it does go into the brake run at some nice speeds. That was one thing with the layout that I tried to get right with this roller coaster. I tried to make the layout as realistic as possible in terms of speeds. So say for instance, if this was a real coaster, it would actually take those elements at that speed that it's going at in game. And I really do like the speed that this roller coaster goes at. It doesn't go too fast, but it doesn't go too slow. One thing that I realized that I did unintentionally actually was make this a hyper coaster, or at least above 200 feet. I wasn't planning to build it that high, but that's sort of the way that it worked out. I don't go and change that because I feel like that adds to the roller coaster. You know, at the top of that turnaround section, you know, you can see for miles and miles and miles, like on Wildfire. And I feel like the height just adds to that excitement. One thing that I do with this roller coaster is add plenty of rock work, as I mentioned earlier. And one thing that I do is I add some rocks that go over the track in sort of a circular shape, and again it's just adding to those near miss elements on this roller coaster, and I absolutely love it. And I do add the rocks in certain places just because I felt like if I added rock work throughout this particular roller coaster, it wouldn't really complement that tropical jungle theme. Just because I wanted some ground to be visible as well, because I really do feel like that adds to it as well. You know, you're not just near missing rocks or trees, you're near missing the terrain as well in some parts, and I do really like that. One thing that I do add to this roller coaster that I really like is I add a waterfall section just after the first drop, just because I wanted this to be scenic as well. And I really do like that waterfall. I felt like that was in a great place. I really wanted to add a waterfall, and I had a vision for a waterfall, but I didn't know where I was going to add it. And I sort of added it there on a whim. I was expecting to take it out because I didn't like it, but I ended up liking it so much that I ended up leaving it in there. And one thing you'll see what I've done with this roller coaster as well is I've raised the terrain under certain areas of the roller coaster, just so it feels like the roller coaster was built around these various bits of terrain, rather than them being added after the fact. So it is quite a terrain-hugging coaster in that respect as well. And again, that's what I was going for when I was building this. Now, some of you may be asking, will I be doing more of these heavily themed roller coasters in the future? Yes, I will. As you know, I've recently made a change in regard to the schedule on the channel, so Mondays will now alternate between LEGO videos and Planet Coaster videos, and when it does get to the turn of the Planet Coaster videos, they're going to alternate between these themed roller coasters and the Perfect Park series. I'm not ending the Perfect Park series, I'm just trying to make a few less of them, just because I felt like they were beginning to get a bit mundane. I think you could tell in the videos that I was just pumping them out, and that's not the way that it should be at all. If I'm going to make a video, I really want to try and enjoy what I'm making. And again, I don't want to pump the same thing out over and over and over again. So what, again, I'm deciding to do is add these in between. And I really feel like it's going to be something different as well. Just because I've never really done anything like this. I've never built just one roller coaster and themed it the way that I have done. And to be honest with you, I'm really happy with the result, as I keep saying. So I will definitely be doing more of these in the future. Now, thinking to the future and thinking to future coasters that I could build around, in my Perfect Park series, I was really happy with that Mara spinning coaster that I built, and the way that I built the terrain around that. So I want to try and do something like that again. Maybe not theme it to a Knights theme or a Kingdom theme, but base it loosely off of that, but not directly reference it in the theme, if that makes any sense at all. It probably doesn't, but I've got an idea in my head. And again, I'm not going to reveal anything until another one of these episodes come out. So, you know, again, it's something different for the channel, and I'm really excited to continue this series. Now, just talking about the station for a second, because this is really the only building that I built during this gameplay. So I didn't really have a set-in-stone idea for the station. I knew that it was going to be wood, again, to fit in with that loose jungle tropical theme, but I didn't really have a set in mind that I was going to use for it. So I ended up using a mixture of different sets, and I felt like that worked out pretty well. I was going to try and build something around the ride operator, just so that was separated, but I couldn't find anything small enough to build around the ride operator. If you've got any suggestions in regards to what I should build, if I do come back to this park, then please let me know down in the comments. One thing I am going to do with this particular park is upload it to the Steam Workshop. And I really want to see what you guys can do with this, or what edits you guys would do to this park. So if you do make any edits and you download this using the Steam Workshop, then please let me know down in the comments, and click the link in the description to my Instagram, private message me or tag me in a post showing me what changes you have made to this roller coaster, because I would be really interested to know what you guys do. I've seen so many creative things done in Planet Coaster, and I feel like me uploading this to the Steam Workshop would only inspire somebody's creativity, and somebody would do some fantastic things to this roller coaster and to this park. But even if you don't make any edits and all you do is ride the roller coaster or just look around, let me know, please. Let's get social. Get on my Instagram and let me know if you have downloaded this via the Steam Workshop. So guys, we are coming to the end of this episode, unfortunately. If you have liked this, please do smack that like button. If you want to see more of these, hit that subscribe button, and so you don't miss a single video, please turn on all notifications using that bell icon below the video. As I say, all my socials are always in the description of my videos, so if you want to hit me up or just talk or let me know what you think about this particular build, then let me know using my socials or leave me a comment down in the comment section. That would be great, and it really helps me out. And again, I love it when you guys interact with me, when you guys leave comments. I think it's fantastic when you let me know what you've liked about something and what you don't like about something. Again, I love that discussion, so definitely leave your comments down below. So guys, I've been Ryan from iCoaster. Enjoy this POV and these off-ride shots.